I think you're gonna find this one pretty interesting, but I want to give you 7 reasons why you should not move to Wildomar, California. Most of the time, YouTubers, real estate agents are trying to convince you why you should move to their area, but I wanna give you the truth and the reality behind living in Wildomar, California. We certainly have videos here that talk about the pros, but I wanna give you the cons, the negative things that people have said about living here before you make the move. Hopefully this is super valuable to you. Let's get to it. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Lewis, your local Temecula Valley realtor, and this channel is dedicated to all things living in the Temecula Valley. From new construction tours to neighborhood spotlights to new things coming here to the Valley, I want you and your family to know exactly what it's like living here before you make the move. Let's get to it. All right, so like I said, I want to give you 7 reasons that you should seriously consider not moving to Wildomar, California. This should help you make the decision if you've been on the fence or been considering it for some time. I want to give you the real scoop on what residents say here is not their favorite about living in Wildomar. Reason number 1 is it's a small town, like really small. If you are coming from anywhere and you enjoy the big city vibes with lots of hustle and bustle and people and things to do, that is not Wildomar, California for you, which is actually pretty strange here. For the Temecula Valley, it's one of the smaller cities, the least populated, the least to do, the least built out, and that's realistically by design. They have pushed back against major chain big box stores coming into the area. The desire is to keep it small and to keep it rural feeling. But if you are looking to come here and have a lot to do and you want to go out to really good food and have all the things, that's not Wildomar. This is a small town, and realistically for the Temecula Valley, it just feels kind of like our cousin that we're related to, but we're really not the same. It just feels a little different, and that's just because it's a small town and it feels like it. Reason number 2 is lack of identity. Because Wildomar is a small town, it doesn't really have anything that it's known for. So if you ask 10 people here in the Temecula Valley, what is Wildomar, California known for? You're probably gonna get 10 different answers, or even just some blank stares from some people that have no idea even what to say about the community. It's flown under the radar since the beginning, and again, that's somewhat by design by city planners and the residents inside of the community, but it just doesn't have a lot to do. It doesn't have the wine country feel of Temecula or the overly family-friendly feel of Murrieta or the lake inside of Lake Elsinore or the lake in Canyon Lake. It doesn't have those things. It doesn't have the boom town of Menifee. It's just Wildomar, California, and some people really love that, but it doesn't really have its own identity, and it doesn't appear going into the future that there's anything that they really want to hang their hat on there either. Reason number 3 is that zoning is all over the place inside of Wildomar. I'll be honest, looking at it is like a child put the zoning together. You might have an RV park next to a brand new home, or you might have $1 million homes on some acreage right next to some manufactured homes, and just a random, strip mall put in here, and some bad placement of things here. Oh, and you're driving to your house and there's just a cemetery right there. It's just different. So some people like the quirkiness to it, but again, it just doesn't have the same well thought out, fully planned out feel that Murrieta, Temecula, Menifee, even Winchester have. So it feels pretty sporadic, and it's gonna just, you may drive by some things on your way to your brand new home that you wouldn't experience if you were living in a different area. So it's super diverse, and some people love that, but it does feel sporadic to me, so I'm adding it to the list here. Reason number 4 is lack of dining and entertainment. I kind of touched on this already as far as the small town feel, but there's a handful of some fast food restaurants and a few grocery stores, but really nothing beyond that. If you're looking to go out on the town and have a good night, you're probably not doing that inside of Wildomar, right? If you're looking to, DoorDash and sit on your couch and watch some Netflix, then hey, maybe Wildomar's for you. But if you're just looking to get out and do something, it's not going to be inside of Wildomar. And to be fair, when it comes to Temecula Valley, I say that about just about any city here. Now, Temecula has Old Town Temecula, and there's a lot to do down there. There's live music and dancing and tons of restaurants and wineries and breweries and all of that there. But if you're going to, looking for fine dining, you're gonna travel outside of Temecula too and down into San Diego. Or, if you're looking to go to a sports event, you're gonna be traveling outside of the area too. So I'm gonna be fair to Wildomar there and say, wherever you live in the Temecula Valley, you're probably gonna have to commute a little bit to go to the big stuff. But even for Wildomar, inside the Temecula Valley, there's just not a ton to do inside of Wildomar itself either. So you're probably venturing off to some of your neighboring cities to even have a nice bite to eat. Reason number 5 is lagging infrastructure. So again, I said the zoning is kind of chaotic, and I would say the infrastructure feels the same there too. A ton of 2-lane roads, which we're just not used to here in the Temecula Valley. We're used to our big roads that are just congested and full of traffic. But here you're just getting some smaller pockets of roads, some not as well maintained roads. There may be some roads that, as new construction has come in and there has been some growth, the infrastructure just hasn't kept up with. So it just feels old and outdated and, a little more, not necessarily congested, but just a little slower moving with some of the traffic through there because, signals and things like that haven't been updated over time. So aging infrastructure is not really keeping up with the growth, although there's not a ton of growth to Wildomar anyways. Reason number 6 is lack of parks and community space. So if you visit neighboring Murrieta, Temecula, you are going to find an abundance of parks and things to do and wide open green space and sports leagues and soccer fields and football fields and baseball fields and all of the things for you to do, as you've, maybe got some kids growing up in the area. And that's just really lacking inside of Wildomar. There's a handful of parks. They're not as extravagant as what you might find in some of the neighboring cities, and not as much to do. And again, not as many sports leagues and things like that. You're probably gonna be traveling into Murrieta for that anyways, if you want to be a part of, baseball or soccer or softball or something like that. So not a lot to do there. They're lagging behind it. You've got fewer community events, which, again, community events are fun because it puts you shoulder to shoulder with some of your neighbors. You get to know people out in the community. And while Wildomar does offer some of that, it's just not as abundant, and it doesn't seem to be as much of a priority as some of the surrounding cities. Reason number 7 is if you blink, you might just miss it. It's that small. So if you are driving north or south on the 15 freeway, which is your main freeway running through Wildomar, you've got 2 exits, and pretty quickly you can be driving from Lake Elsinore south, and before you know it, you're in Murrieta and you've skipped completely over Wildomar, or the same thing heading north. So it's small, and it really doesn't have a major footprint. As you're driving through Wildomar on the 15 freeway, it just lacks all the big things that you would think, hey, there's civilization here. It just seems empty and underdeveloped. And again, by design. And some residents absolutely love it, but for others, it might feel a little too small. So that's it for 7 reasons why I think you might want to pause, or 7 things that you should at least know before you consider moving here to Wildomar. Like I said, some people come here and they absolutely love the small town vibe. They love the fact that they can buy a manufactured home on acres of property and people are gonna leave them alone, or that they can buy a multi-million-dollar home and it's more than you could get in Murrieta or Temecula because of the price point inside of Wildomar. People love that it's a slower feel to the community and not as busy with the hustle and bustle. So many people love Wildomar, and obviously people have chosen to call it home. But I wanted to share with you the truth. Before you got here, before you made that move and you were tempted by home prices or things like that, there's just a lot that you should consider there. So if you're thinking about making a move to Wildomar, you want to talk a little bit more about any of these or anywhere in the Temecula Valley, feel free to reach out to myself and my team. We would love to have that conversation with you. In fact, we come across new clients all the time who have reached out to us from our channel. We get them the information, we go out and tour the area, and they love it. So if that's you want to have a conversation, you can call us, you can text us, you can send us an email, or you can schedule a one-on-one Zoom consultation by clicking on the link below in the description. It takes you directly to our calendar, and you can hop on a Zoom call and we can discuss. Whether you're thinking about a move in 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, that doesn't matter. We're here to be a resource for you and want to get you all the information that you need before you move here to the Temecula Valley, and we're happy to have those conversations with you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.